want to consider how to out Safari suit and also to sew. Thing we consider is the length, which is 30 inches. The shoulder measure we are going to use in drafting out this Safari suit is 19. Sleeve length is 10. The chest 2, and the round sleeve is 14.5 inches. I will mark at an inch here. I will mark out an inch. I also mark out here and use my measuring stick to draft it out. I pick my measuring stick and draw a straight line. From which I get. So I will mark the length with 1 inches. The length is 30 inches. 1 again, that's 1. I will add a folding allowance, which I will make add 2 inches for the folding allowance, which will be 3 inches. Then I will cut with a straight rule, a measurement stick. So I will also connect the folding allowance. So this is what I have. Now I needed to do again is to draft the back panel first, then thereafter I will now draft the front panel. In this, what I will do is to get the midpoint, which is the total length divided by 2. That's 31 divided by 2 will give us 31 divided by 2 will give us 15.5, and I add 1.5 inches downward, which will give us 15.5 plus 1.5 will give us 17 inches. 17 inches. 17 measuring from the top of the Safari suit towards the bottom. 17 inches. Mark 17 inches. 17 inches. Then I will connect it with my straight rule or measuring stick. I will mark the armhole point. The armhole point will be the chest divided by 4, which will give us the armhole point. The chest divided by 4 will give us, the chest is 42 inches. Divided by 4, it will give us 10.5. I measure 10.5. So mark 10.5 here. This is 10.5. Then I will join to get a straight line. So I've gotten the armhole point for the front panel. Then I will get that of the back panel. We take 1.5 inch upward, 1.5 inch upward, 1.5 inch. I'll still connect to get straight line. this is what I have. Now you check the horizontal line which we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 horizontal line before I will now start taking my vertical line. The vertical line is I mark out. I have 1 inch here, 1.5, 1.75, and also there will be 1.75. Remember, our vent will be two-sided vent, not our vent will not be back vent, but the two-sided vent. I will connect this. I don't want to use straight root for this because here we need a curve here. We don't have a straight line on this point, so that's why I'm applying the curve with freehand sketch. So the next thing that we do is to mark out the shoulder. Shoulder is 19. 19 divided by 2 will give us 9.5. 9.5 plus half an inch, which will be the seam allowance on the side, will give us 10 inches. We have 10 inches. I measure from this point to here, we have 11, and I also mark 11 on this point. I mark 10.5 here. And 11 here. Remember I said that our vent will be two-sided vent, and the length of the vent I will make it from the folding point, I will make it 9 inches. And I will now mark the front panel. I'm done. Okay, pardon me, I have not given my shoulder slope, which my shoulder slope I should make it 1.5 from this 1 inch. I mark out 1.5 downward. Here's 1.5, and here the neck curve I make it 3.5. So I'm done with that of the back panel. I will now mark out the front panel. Mark that of the front panel. The front panel give a very straight line. What we are drafting out, if you did not join us on time, this is Safari suit, the drafting and cutting of Safari suits. I will mark out the collar. I make it 3.5, and the dip, I make the dip also 3.5. I measure from here to here. What I have here is 6.5. I also mark 6.5 here. Make my shoulder slope 1.5. Then I connect. On this area, we use my French curve for the armhole curve. I make use of my French curve for my armhole curve. Remember that the chest measurement is 42 inches, and we have to check if the allowance we give here for the sewing, for the dart and the button allowance, if it will be enough for the allowance which we have here. We have markouts or 1 inch here. This should be the button allowance, and they have 16 times 2 will give us 32. Is we have 10, 16 2 plus, pardon me, I have 16 inches. 16 inches times 2 will give us 32. And here I have 11 times 2. Pardon, I have 10 here. 10 times 2 will give us 20. So what we have here is 52 inches. And what we are looking at is we are looking at 42 inches. So if I put the darts, the front dart and the breast dart, it will make up what we need for it. So I will mark this is the front panel, and I'm going to be drafting it out. After then, I will draft out the front piece or the inner piece or inner facing, anyone you call it. So then I will draft out the sleeve. mark to identify the front side and the back panel. While cutting the back side, you don't cut along the chalk. That chalk which I mark at the back side will be the same line or the sewing line. So I will mark out or cut out the inner facing of the safari suit. You can see the inner facing. I give a mark of chalk to identify the wrong side of the fabric and the right side of the fabric. So I will draft out the sleeve and then I will proceed with the cutting of the interface. The sleeve is 10.5 inches. I mark 11.5 inches because I'm adding 1 inch on the length measurement, and I will add my folding allowance 3 inches. I have 10.5 here. I have the center here. I will get my French curve to get the curve which I needed for the sleeve. So I will now draft. I will start cutting the the, the drafted sleeve. This is the outer side of the sleeve, and we have the underside or the inner side of the sleeve. So I will now draft the under sleeve. We'll remove one of it and use this one to draft out the under sleeve. Remember that the round sleeve is 14.5. So this is what I have. I will now start. I will cut it out. This is what I have. You can see the drafting. I'm done with the drafting of the suits. The safari suit, pardon me, the safari suit, I'm done with the drafting. So what I will do right now is to cut the interface, then I will go and fuse it and commence the sewing. So this is the interface I'll be using for this safari suit. Is a light gauge interface. You call it hairstay or hair gum. So I don't know what you call it on your own side, but here we call it hairstay or hair gum. And the width, the total width is by 60. The width of it is by 60. I will place it and commence the cutting. As I place it, you join it into two to give you the two sides of the front panel. Just join it into two. You get your front panel, place it and trace it out. And also after tracing it out, you get your inner facing. The same thing you do likewise on the inner facing. So we will be seeing when I finish fusing it to commence the sewing.